What's up, y'all? I'm back with another video, and I know I've been gone for a minute. It's just a lot that has transpired over the past few days, few weeks, and so I just wanted to come back. And I know today we're reading Numbers 11, 12, and 13, but my wife and my son had this huge opportunity, so I just wanted to pause for a second on the reading every day and focus more on getting them prepared. And we was traveling, we went to Mexico City, and it was just a lot happening, so I took a pause for a second, and I just wanted to start back fresh and be in my own home. Right now I'm in the second bedroom, but yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So the people complained again. Numbers 11. The people started complaining about their troubles. The Lord heard their complaints. He heard these things and became angry. Fire from the Lord burned among the people. The fire burned some of the areas at the edge of the camp. So the people cried to Moses for help. He prayed to the Lord, and the fire stopped burning. So that place was called Tabera. The people gave the place that name because the Lord caused fire to burn in their camp. The 70 old leaders, the foreigners who had joined the Israelites, began wanting other things to eat. Soon all the Israelites began complaining again. The people said, "We want to eat meat. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt. That fish cost us nothing. We also had good vegetables like cucumbers, melons, chives, onions, and garlic. But now we have lost our strength. We never eat anything, only this manna." The manna was like small coriander seeds, and it looked like sap from a tree. The people gathered the manna. Then they used rocks to crush it and cooked it in a pot, or they ground it into flour and made thin cakes with it. The cakes tasted like sweet cakes cooked with olive oil. The manna fell on the ground each night when the ground became wet with dew. Moses heard the people complaining. People from every family were sitting by their tents and complaining. The Lord became very angry, and this made Moses very upset. He asked the Lord, "Why did you bring this trouble on me? I am your servant. What did I do wrong? What did I do to upset you?" Sorry, I got lost. What did I do wrong? What did I do to upset you? Why did you give me responsibility over all these people? You know that I am not the father of all these people. You know I did not give birth to them, but I must take care of them, like a nurse carrying a baby in her arms. Why do you force me to do this? Why do you force me to carry them to the land that you promised to our fathers? I don't have enough meat for all these people, and they continue complaining to me. They say, "Give us meat to eat." I cannot take care of all these people alone. The burden is too heavy for me. If you plan to continue giving me their troubles, kill me now. If you accept me as your servant, let me die now. Then I will be finished with all my troubles. The Lord said to Moses, "Bring to me 70 of the elders of Israel. These men are the leaders among the people. Bring them to the meeting tent. Let them stand there with you. Then I will come down and speak with you there. The Spirit is on you now, but I will also give some of the Spirit to them. Then they will help you." Sorry, 1 second. "Then they will help you take care of the people. In this way, you will not have to be responsible for these people alone. Tell people this: make yourselves ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow you will eat meat. The Lord heard you when you cried out and said, 'We need meat to eat.' It is better for us in Egypt. It was better for us in Egypt. So now the Lord will give you meat." Let me make these letters bigger. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Where am I at? Okay, so now the Lord will give you meat, and you will eat it. You will eat it for more than 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or even 20 days. You will eat that meat for a whole month until you are sick of it. This will happen to you because you complain against the Lord. He lives among you and knows what you need, but you cried and complained to him. You said, "Why did we ever leave Egypt?" Moses said, "There are 600,000 soldiers here And you say, I will give them enough meat to eat for a whole month. If we were to kill all the sheep and cattle, that would still not be enough to feed this many people for a month. And if we caught all the fish in the sea, it would not be enough for them. But the Lord said to Moses, don't limit my power. You will see that I can do what I say I can do. So Moses went out to speak with the people. He told them what the Lord said. Then he gathered 70 of the elders together and told them to stand around the tent. Then the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. He put on the 70 elders some of the same spirit that was on Moses. After the spirit came down on them, they began to prophesy. But that was the only time they ever did this. 2 of the leaders, Eldad and Medad, did not go out to the tent. Their names were on the list of elders, but they stayed in the camp. But the spirit also came on them. They began prophesying in camp. A young man ran and told Moses. The man said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in camp. Joshua son of Nun said to Moses, sir, you must stop them. Joshua had been Moses' helper since Joshua was a boy. But Moses answered, are you afraid the people would think I am not the leader now? I wish that all the Lord's people were able to prophesy. I wish that the Lord would put his spirit on all of them. Then Moses and the leaders of Israel went back to the camp. The quail come. Then the Lord made a powerful wind to blow in from the sea, and it blew quail into the area all around the camp. There were so many birds that the ground was covered. They were about 3 feet deep on the ground. There were quail in every direction, as far as a man can walk in one day. They went out and gathered quail all that day and all that night. And they gathered quail all the next day too. The smallest amount anyone gathered was 60 bushels. Then the people spread the quail meat all around the camp to dry in the sun. People began to eat the meat, but the Lord became very angry. While the meat was still in their mouths before the people could finish eating, the Lord caused the people to become very sick and die. So the people named that place Kibroth Hattaavah, because there they buried those who had a strong desire for meat. From Kibroth Hattaavah, the people traveled to Hazeroth and stayed there. Numbers 12. Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses. Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses. They criticized him because he married an Ethiopian woman. They said to themselves, Moses is not the only one the Lord has used to speak to the people. He has also spoken through us. The Lord heard this. Moses was a very humble man. He was more humble than any other man on earth. So suddenly the Lord came and spoke to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. He said, you 3, come to the meeting tent now. So Moses, Aaron, and Miriam went to the tent. The Lord came down in a tall cloud and stood at the entrance to the tent. He called out Aaron and Miriam. They went to him. God said, listen to me. You will have prophets. I, the Lord, will let them learn about me through visions. I will speak to them in dreams. But Moses is not like that. He is my faithful servant. I trust him with everyone in my house. When I speak to him, I talk to him face to face. I talk face to face with him. I don't use stories with hidden meanings. I show him clearly what I want him to know. And Moses can look at the very image of the Lord. So why were you brave enough to speak against my servant Moses? The Lord was very angry with them, and he left them. The cloud rose from the tent. Aaron turned and looked at Miriam. Her skin was white like snow. She had a terrible skin disease. Then Aaron said to Moses, please, sir, forgive us for the foolish sin that we did. Don't let her lose her skin like a baby who is born dead. Sometimes a baby will be born like that, with half of his skin eaten away. So Moses prayed to the Lord, God, please heal her from this sickness. The Lord answered Moses, if her father spit in her face, she would be shamed for 7 days. So put her outside of the camp for 7 days. After that, she can come back into the camp. So they took Miriam outside the camp for 7 days, and the people did not move from that place until she was brought in again. After that, the people left Hazeroth and traveled to the desert of Paran, where they set up camp. Okay, last chapter. Numbers 13. The spies go to Canaan. The Lord said to Moses, "Send me some men to explore the land of Canaan. I will give this land to the Israelites. Send one leader from each of the 12 tribes." So Moses obeyed the Lord's command and sent out the Israelite leaders while the people camped around the desert in Paran. These are the names. From the tribe of Reuben, Shammah, son of Zachar. From the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, son of Hori. From the tribe of Judah, Caleb, son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of Issachar, Igal, son of Joseph. From the tribe of Ephraim, Hosea, son of Nun. From the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, son of Raphu. From the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, son of Zodi. From the tribe of Manasseh, a tribe from Joseph, Gadi, son of Susi. From the tribe of Dan, Amiel, son of Gemali. From the tribe of Asher, Sethur, son of Michael. From the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, son of Visi. From the tribe of Gad, Giel, son of Maki. These are the names of the men Moses sent to look at and study the land. Moses called Hosea, son of Nun, by another name. Moses called him Joshua. When Moses was sending them out to explore Canaan, he said, "Go through the Negev and then into the hill country. See what the land looks like. Learn about the people who live there. Are they strong or are they weak? Are they few or are they many? Learn about the land that they live in. Is it good land or bad land? What kind of towns do they live in? Do the towns have walls protecting them? Are the towns strongly defended? And learn other things about the land. Is the soil good for growing things or is it poor soil? Are there trees on the land? Try to bring back some of the fruit from that land." This was during the time when the first grapes should be ripe. So they went to explore the country. They explored the area from the desert of Zin to Rehob in Lebo Hamath. They entered the country through the Negev and went to Hebron. The town of Hebron was built 7 years before the land of Zoan in Egypt. Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai lived there. These men were descendants of Anak. Then the men went to Escal Valley. There they cut off a branch from the grapevine that had a bunch of grapes on it. They put that branch on a pole. The two men carried it between them. They also carried some pomegranate and figs. That place was called the Escal Valley because there the men of Israel cut off the bunch of grapes. The men explored the country for 40 days and then they went back to the camp. The Israelites were camped near Kadesh in the desert of Paran. The men went to Moses and Aaron and all the Israelites. They told Moses, Aaron, and all the people what they saw and showed them the fruit from that land. The men told Moses, "We went to the land where you sent us. It is a land filled with many good things. Here is some of the fruit that grows there. But the people living there are very powerful. The cities are very large and strongly defended. We even saw some Anakites there. The Amalekites live in the Negev. The Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live near the sea and by the Jordan River." Caleb told the people near Moses to be quiet. Then Caleb said, "We should go up and take the land for ourselves. We can easily take that land." But the men who had gone with him said, "We cannot fight those people. They are much stronger than we are." So those men gave a report that discouraged the people. They said, "The land we saw is full of strong people. They are strong enough to easily defeat anyone who goes there. We saw the giant Nephilim people there. The descendants of Anak come from Nephilim. We felt like little grasshoppers. Yes, we were like little grasshoppers to them." Alright, and that is Numbers 11, 12, and 13. And so the first thing I think about is how hard, I guess, for the lack of a better term, how hard that God had Moses' back. And how, well, let me back up. So in Numbers 11, it talks about how Moses kind of like questioned how God was basically gonna bring the quail, because he was saying how much of people it is and how much quail or meat that would be. And he was saying like You know, there will be this many sheep or there will be this many cattle. And God was like, don't limit my power. Like I found that funny, that he kind of was questioning God. Basically like, how is this gonna happen? Like, this ain't logical. And God like, don't question me, I can do the impossible. And so, but even after that, in the next chapter, Miriam and Aaron had criticized Moses, basically kind of questioning his authority and who he is. And God was like backing him really hard, like really tough, rocking with Moses, and saying basically that he speak face to face to him. Like, he don't talk through like a prophet, or where a prophet gotta explain visions or learn about him through visions and dreams. He like, with Moses, I speak directly face to face to him. Like, so don't question my servant. Don't question the person that I chose. And so after God had left their presence, Miriam was like basically kind of white and just pale, basically like dead. So they kind of had to take her out of the camp to come back to her senses a little bit. That's funny. And then they send in the spies to go to Canaan, and one group of guys, they bring back branches of grapes, and then another group of guys saying that they scared and the people is super huge and big. And it's interesting because you got those two types of people. You got those people that's like, you got the positive mindset, and then you got the people that's negative. So I think about how, like, when you tell somebody you about to do something, and then they be like, well, what if this? What if that? And it's always on the negative side. But then it's like those people that's like, okay, I'm gonna ask the question like, why not? Or what if it goes right? I'm thinking optimistic about the situation. So yeah, that's what I got from that, real quick. And man, that was good. That was a good read. But yeah, I can't wait to see y'all back in the next video. And with this, I'm really just gonna go with the flow of how life goes, and I'm gonna no doubt read through the whole Bible, and I'm not gonna let anything stop me for sure. Man, today, so the other night I had because I still read through the plan. Like, I'm like so many days ahead of this plan, like still reading. So I'm in like 1 Kings right now. But I had started like reading to the camera or to you guys a little later on, because I was like, let me just, let me try to build a community of people that, desire to read and desire to kind of take it piece by piece and get deeper more, or just want to, like, a guided person to read through and for them, because I know the Bible can be like tough to read, so that's why I started this. And so yeah, I'm like super days ahead. The other night I had logged in to my Bible app on my wife's phone, and so I told her that, I signed in on your phone because my phone was on the charger, and I just feel like going in there because she was trying to put Jet to sleep. So I signed in on her phone and I was reading my plan. She forgot that I told her I signed in on her phone. She left my plan that I'm currently in and completely started a whole new plan. So it like booted me out of the plan, and I'm like 90 days into the plan. But it was all good. I'm definitely not gonna let the enemy stop me from doing this, and I'm not gonna let the enemy, it's almost like he tried to come in, like did it through Tish, where he tried to come in between us, but he won't get the victory for sure. Thankfully, the Bible app got this new feature to where it's like you can catch yourself up and you be right back on track where you had left off. So it's all good. But yeah, that's it. See y'all in the next video. Peace.